Liverpool versus everybody. Yes, it says we've got money, and we do, and I'm proud about it. Liverpool versus everybody. The thumbnail is very very fitting. I love that image that I was able to find online and present here to you. Um, Not that you haven't seen it yourself, but it's early morning here on Sunday. Um, Gonna watch some of the games today. See what Arsenal could do with Crystal Palace. Maybe Burnley could knock Chelsea a bit lower. We'll see. Um, Football geek here, so just enjoy watching games, even if it's not the big one that we're all waiting for, the City versus Spurs. But as the titles say, I'll start with another week and another apology. Um, as much as I do feel like if that goal was conceded and it was a ricochet from Lovren, Alberto Moreno, guys who I think by and large divide the fan base, and probably more so. It's not really even a divide. I think the majority um, don't really care for either one of those. Probably more so Alberto Moreno. To be fair, I think Lovren has definitely improved. He still has that thing about him though, where you just all the respect to him. He's had a great season so far in the game, the limited games he's played. I think with maybe a caveat here and there of a brain freeze situation, but it's definitely Alberto Moreno leading that. And so I still believe that if that was Lovren or Alberto Moreno, they would be getting torched on Twitter or social media of any Instagram, YouTube fan channels, whatever the case may be. Um, Speaking about Alberto Moreno, I think on that play, him and Milner, maybe it was Robert. No, it couldn't be Robertson. He wasn't in the game. So between Milner and Alberto, the idea that that cross even came in is a problem, and I think that's something that I'm always disappointed about. And dare I say, Virgil van Dijk is. You see him at least once every 2 games, if not more frequently, yelling to whoever that it is on mostly that side where he's at, to stop the fucking cross. We read his lips say that at least once, if not a handful of times. Um, and again, listen, the defense has been the cream of our crop this season. So I'm not gonna nitpick with that. I mean, again, it's highly disappointing that the run we had of not conceding goals ended, but it ended to a team like Cardiff who didn't really pose any threat all game, and it was almost like not almost. It was you saw this you saw something in that team that said, "Oh no, you're gonna score against us." Number one, how did we collectively, because that was not a one player thing. The ricochet is one thing, and those things happen. It shouldn't have. It did, but allowing that ball to even allowing Carter to even sniff any kind of joy or whatever was not in the it was not written. That was not how that story was supposed to go. Their fans were singing about the library, and I said in the last video that my apologies, I accidentally deleted that while I was trying to edit it because I put 4-0 and not 4-1. My wife brought it to my attention. I thought I had changed it. We didn't. Whatever. But I accidentally deleted that. But as I said in the video yesterday, they were saying, "Is this the library?" And I said that yes, it is. And the library is the books being Leicester City, and Liverpool were the team checking out the books or looking through books, like actually trying to um, discover something in that kind of quietness, boringness of just seeing like rows of books. Um, in the fact that they're not moving, not like that a book is boring, but the fact that books are just still on bookshelves, and that's what Leicester was. They were not moving at all. Anytime they moved, it was because we were checking them out. Um, if you get the point I'm making. So, and I say it was because there were large periods of times where it was really quiet. And again, it's a big club like Liverpool, and I guess big clubs are just spoiled with history, or you know taken for granted that they've got all this money. And you got teams like Cardiff and Huddersfield and Palace, teams that in our lifetime probably will never win a Premier League title, will never have that great deal of glory, Premier League title, will never probably win a trophy. Um, and their fans get up, and I don't know, it just it amazes me that I don't have the fortune of going to a Liverpool game every every weekend. Maybe if I did, I'd be kind of one of those players that would or fans that would take it for granted. I can't see that, but listen, I'm not going to knock our fans because that doesn't do anything for me. But my point is, I think there's still some doubt that exists in our fan base. As I said in the title, and I think there were many people when we did concede that goal who thought, "Oh my goodness, are we going to draw this game? Are we going to lose this game? Have we lost it? Do we have to kind of go back to the chances, have chances, whatever that we had in the game, and maybe depend on that or lean on that for the reason why we didn't win this game?" Me myself, I can't say that I thought they'd score two more, but I definitely didn't think we would lose that game. I think that was, a very unnecessary blip. But it was just that it's not what you're gonna be accustomed to seeing with Liverpool. Um, and what really, 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 really brought me a lot of joy was just to see that they second my thought. Yes, I said I didn't expect them to get necessarily think they would get two more goals necessarily, um, but for anyone who has doubts, I think they hopefully they put that to bed because Liverpool's a team now to where they are saying, listen, we are always going to be top notch defensively. Um, and when our goal scoring gets into gear, watch out. And I think it's safe to say that you're looking at a team now where we're getting some new guys, getting more time, getting more comfortable with the system. And I think overall as a team, having Allison coming to this team this season, having Van Dijk coming to this team, now wearing the armband with Henderson and Milner being out, there's an overall confidence in this team that even if a mistake is made, they're not going to allow it to be the tail of the game. And that really, really just fills me with joy, man, because for so long, and I understand fans who still feel like when we get in those moments up, typical Liverpool again. I don't knock them. I don't think we all have that same kind of confidence always, or this assured feeling that we're good, we're gonna get it. And I think Liverpool have given us reasons not to, but to me, season upon season, they've shown and improved on areas that they haven't done well in. And I truly believe that in this year, it's just I think the topping of all of that coming together. And so I had no doubt in my mind that we win that game. I think it was a bonus to get the goals, and it's just good to see guys fighting to make sure they put it right. Making a mistake like that, you can imagine what up was. Like, how do we get to this point where this team is getting a goal on us? How do we get there? How is this possible? And the players as well, but they didn't hold their heads. They said, let's go up another gear, let's get these goals, and make this score line look better than what it is now. You know what I mean? Winning the game 2-1 would have been fine. I would have taken it. But how much how much better is it to see that they said, let's go get this. Let's go get a couple more goals and put this right. And probably could have had a fifth or sixth. So that just really shows improvement in the team, and I'm proud about it. Neil Warnock, listen, some of us Liverpool fans will fall for anything. Um, and if I'm an American fan, then I mean, come on, you guys know Neil Warnock is Neil Warnock. There's nothing special about him. He minces words. He says things to try to, um, you know, highlight certain maybe qualities a team may have and come off as like he really sees Liverpool as a great team. Then at the same time, meanwhile, these kind of underhanded insults. There's a video of him after the game, and it might be on the Liverpool channel, surprisingly. And one of the comments was nice words from Warnock. Listen, it's all cute and fine if he says he thinks we're favorites for Champions League. We were in the semifinals last season. We went to the finals. So I mean, that's not much of a big thing to say. And so far, we're heading our group. But to then slag off the fan base, which I'm not questioning whether he was right or not because it was a bit quiet in there in parts. You heard a lot of Cardiff. You heard Liverpool fans, but you heard a lot of Cardiff. The library song. The sign on song. All of these things. You heard them loud and clear, and especially after Cardiff scored that goal, it was very very quiet. So he's right. It's not about if he's right or not, but who is he to come and worry about your team that just got mopped up 4-1? You know, you got your goal, that's cool, but you never had a chance. Worry about trying to prepare your team a bit better to do something, to actually play some football. Um, Now, it's probably the smart thing that he didn't, but I just didn't like the fact that he, was slagging off the fans. He wasn't wrong necessarily. I just didn't like it. So that's one thing. And then for him to say that he thinks, the league is cities. So again, maybe I'm being a bit too harsh, but I don't think those are nice words. I think he's a bit probably sour that he's managing a team that probably will get relegated. I think he knows that. This is why he always talks about his fans because he wants the fans to hopefully hold on for the whole season. He doesn't want to get sacked. He wants to keep a job. And for him, on a team like that, that's what you reach for. Or at least our fan base is great. Your team isn't though, and so you get it. It's a new promoted team. You don't expect them to be great, but I will never jump on a bandwagon of Neil Warnock as a nice guy or kind words. No, none of that for me. Um, but again, there were some notes here I wrote down because again, after a game, raw emotion. Um, my son's with me. There's but so much I can really say with a clear head, if you will. And so after watching the game again, I'm glad I did. And there's some things I noticed. I'm not going to be on here long, guys, but this is more of just coming back with some ideas, especially because of the video yesterday got deleted. So appreciate you guys who were there and watched that, and the ones that are here right now watching. But a few things I want to touch on is Mane. This idea of Mane holding the ball too much. Um, I don't think that's. I don't think there's such a thing unless the majority of it leads to nothing. And I don't know that I can say that. And also, I don't know what he's doing differently in that regard that Coutinho didn't do. Coutinho held on the ball for dear life all the time. In my opinion, way too much and settled for long distance shots. Um, but no one seemed to mind that too much by and large. So, listen, Mane will always be a better goal scorer. He'll always, in my opinion, be a better player than Coutinho, especially in this system. But and for me, just in general, I think Mane is a better player than Coutinho. That's just my opinion. So I don't think that's a bad thing. And you could see in that game, it was really difficult for periods to break down Cardiff. Slightly difficult, slightly just us not making better decisions. Some of the passes just weren't that great in that final third. Where we got in the box, we're kind of probing on the ball, trying to figure out how to key that lock, and just wasn't able to do it. And credit to Cardiff for that. I mean, they definitely came up set up to do that, and they did that for large parts. I thought Sol Bamba in parts was really really good. On the left side of their defense, being physical with Salah. I think a lot of times it was a bit too physical. Not necessarily from him. There's another player they had, big dude, who was doing a lot of grabbing on Salah, and you can see there at the end, it got a little physical because Salah was frustrated because you get to grab on my jersey and pull on my body, and there's nothing being called. I talked about the ref already. I thought he was atrocious, and that's not really even sour grapes because we won the game, but and not even just for us. There were some certain things for them that they didn't call that he didn't see, and it was just like again, the English Premier League need to look at the hiring of these match officials. It's really bad. It's really really bad by and large. You watch games in the Premier League, and when they get it right, it's cool. And I mean, they're human. I get it, but there's so many just blatant errors that it's unacceptable to me. But anyway, I go past that. Mane to me there's no such thing as holding onto the ball too long. But anyway, my point was, in that situation, there was just a blue wall that we just couldn't get by. He didn't give up. He kept fighting him. And him and Salah are so good in tight spaces. It's amazing to me. Mane might be a bit better. I mean, after seeing what Salah did in tight spaces last season, I think Mane may be a bit quicker and just a bit more fearless at times. He doesn't usually get the ball nicked off of him too easily. And I love that. But the way he fought for that and created that goal all on his own is why I think people um, look at him as the best African player. Of course, you can say Salah as far as goal scoring, but all around player. Yes, Salah got the assist, and he's an all around good player as well. But Mane's got that special thing, man. It's hard for me to put my finger on it. Mane's got that X factor, man. He did the same thing in Red Star, and I think people are like, no, Mane, give the. This guy is just determined. He's determined. He's up there now, and just below the top goal scorer. I think there's a few people on six. But Mane is really, really pushing, I think, to be up there at the end of the season for goal tallies. And it's something I love to see. Epic says, I agree, Coutinho would get that first Mane goal. Wouldn't get, yeah, Mane is just relentless. Yeah, man, it's just so exciting to see. And like I said, he's one of the guys I look forward to seeing every game because you just know, even in the periods of games where he may be quote unquote quiet, and maybe doesn't really seem to be into the game, it's just like boom, and there he is. You know what I mean? And on the end of that assist from Salah, there's only a few people in football that could catch up to that ball in that tight boulevard of space and get that goal. I mean, it's just he's a phenomenal player, man, and I really, really hope. I don't really think about these things too often because I feel like what happens will happen. I really hope that he gets re-signed for Liverpool. That's a guy I'm really gonna miss if we don't have him. Um, hey, I think I just heard the Leicester owner was on that helicopter and died. No, wow, really? Wow. Yeah, I was just watching Arsenal fan TV and I heard about a helicopter crash. Wow, that's man, that's crazy. I think something happened with Huddle as well. Man, that's crazy. I didn't realize it was that bad. Yeah, that's bad. So prayers and shouts to the family. And man, I'm sure when I watch the game here, they'll be talking about it. That's tough, man. That's really tough. Sorry to hear that. Also, Amarte, a real freak, crazy injury in that game against West Ham. I mean, just you don't want to see things like that. Um, wow, that's tough. That's tough. So shouts out to all those people. Daniel Amarte from Leicester, Glenn Huddle, and the Leicester fan base in general. Just wow, that's really really sad and crazy, unfortunate. But back into the game. You know, uh, I talked about the physicality of this team, and there's nobody scared in this team. There's nobody who maybe Lalana. He doesn't really seem like the most physical guy. He did when he played against that kid in under 23s or whatever it was, which I'll never forgive him for. Um, but other than that, I mean, going to war. I mean, the players on this. I mean, even Salah. I mean, what? I mean, this guy. He's got some bite to him. Everyone does. That whole team, and I love seeing that. You need a team strong like that, and I think that is also going to prove to be something that helps us in this season and fight for this title. Or even in the Champions. I just feel like this physical toughness, this relentless, no fear, not gonna back down. I'm gonna match you. Um, is something you really want to see. Let me talk about Lalana real quick. I'm probably gonna try to keep this short, but things are coming to my mind. I don't know what people are expecting from Lalana. By and large, he's getting a lot of hate, and I'm like, what? Danny Ings never got this amount of hate. And sure, maybe Danny Ings missed more games, but the point I'm making is they both had serious injuries that set them back, and they never seemed to be able to get back to a level. But to me, Lallana was always a better player in the Liverpool team than Ings was or ever will be. So I don't get why there's so much hate about Lallana. I mean, I think what it is that people would prefer to see another player that's better in that spot and let Lallana go, and I get that. But while he's here, I don't know what we're expecting from him game to game. We know what Lallana is. He's very, very limited now with those injuries. He didn't have an amazing game. I don't think he was as awful as people said. Yes, there were moments that it seemed like when we got to the final third, some of the mistakes we had, he kind of was part of it. But again, I think it's good to get him these string of games, whether it's him starting, get a 45, get a 50, get a 60 in, sit him down. Come off the bench for maybe a 20, 30-minute cameo, sit him down. Um, but I don't know. Maybe it's me, but you know, Danny Ings was never even when we got him. He's never been a player who I thought was going to shine at Liverpool, and I still don't think that. Yes, he went to Southampton. It's Southampton, and done decent, but I think we're a bit harsh on Lallana personally. Nova, that toughness you speak of is kind of why Manchester United beats us or draws. They're so physical, and we're only getting there now. But I love, yeah, and that's a great point, Nova. I'm glad you said that's a great point. I don't disagree with that. Um, and I think all that is changing. I hesitate to say changed because I just want to see us go through. And let me say this too. Am I being harsh or am I being kind of just a downer or a party pooper or whatever? When I say that, I don't understand why Liverpool fans are getting so excited and raging and yelling about top of the league when the week of football hasn't ended yet. I mean, there's still a big game on Monday. So let's see that through. Yeah, I get it. We're top of the league now, and I think that's important. It is. But pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. We got to see what happens to the City Tottenham game. We get a favorable result there, then okay. But almost every Liverpool fan channel, top of the league, it's like, calm down. Or like even, early in the season where teams get to the top of the league and their fans are singing that, we're top of the league. The season is still going on. Calm down. Maybe I just don't want us to get. Look, I'm happy that we're all maybe beside ourselves, or really, really, and we should be. We deserve to be. This team is good. This team is good, and they're showing that they're real this season. They are real, in both Champions League and the league, but especially in the league, we're real, and I get that. But for me, I can only speak for myself. I just want to see this through. You know what I mean? And again, these are opportunities that, yes, like we have no control over that. We can only have control over what we have control over, and that's getting 3 points on weekends, or game days, Monday, Friday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever it is. Um, and so that's where, I spoke about it, the point total thing. Nova says you're right. We shouldn't get too excited. City is miles away in goal difference. Yeah, and probably of winning the league still slightly leans on their side. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, again, I'm not trying to be this. Look, have fun, guys. Whoever's doing that, saying that, have fun. I'm not. I don't want to be that guy. But I'm just saying. For me, I just let's see it through. And if we come out after Monday, when the final whistle blows, okay, great, we're top of the league. But even still, enjoy it. But let's just get through the season. Let's get through the season. But yes, let's have fun. Let's enjoy the journey. Because again, I just don't see a team that falls off this season. I think with all the, if you want to call it resting or rotation that he's doing, it's smart. It's smart. And sure, there might be players that we just don't want to see or are shocked by seeing. Alberto Moreno's one, maybe Lalana for some people, maybe Lovren for some people, whatever the case may be. You got to trust Klopp. You have to. I'm saying that you have to trust Klopp because the third season round, he's getting things. He knows fully what he's doing. In this league, with this team, managing the team, he's got it. And he's bringing guys along at the perfect time. Listen, I think it's going to be hard for Henderson to really get back consistently in this squad. I say that, and then at the same time, I think Klopp's going to find a place for him. Henderson's going to play, you know. But Fabinho offers something different, and I think it's highly, highly disrespectful. Again, this is just me. Maybe I'm being a different way to some of you, but to compare him to Mascherano, two totally different players, totally different builds, totally different attributes. Um, yes, they both were defensive, but that's what their trade is. To me, I think Fabinho will prove to be better. You don't see Mascherano marauding forward like that. I mean, the range of passing Fabinho has, Mascherano had that. But I just think Fab has and again, people will think this is crazy because Mascherano, we know how great he is. Internationally, even though his team hasn't won a World Cup, but Barcelona for us, we get it. I get it. But to me, Fab to me has a higher ceiling, man. I think he, at least for Liverpool, I think he is going to be just an incredible player for us. And I left my, let me see some of these comments. Sorry. Um, said you agree with Hendo. WHT. What's that? What? White. Um, Steve says Fabinho could be the next Fernandinho. Yeah, I mean, I think he's got a little bit of all these guys in him. Sure, Fernandino. Sure, maybe Mascherano. I don't really see that comparison. I see more Fabinho than Mascherano. But I think of guys like Vieira, Yaya Toure, just the stature, how they glide through the pitch at that height, that size. He just offers something different in that midfield. Mascherano was more defensive. He played center back for Barca. Yeah, again, that's what I'm saying. Like, if Liverpool fans are so lazy with comparisons. I'm sorry. It amazes me how we compare them just to whoever we see fit. Like, because they played the similar position, then let's stop. No, I mean, I think there are people comparing Van Dijk to Carragher at one point. Like, what? No. So yeah, I mean, I just Fab is quick as well. Yeah, he's. I mean, listen, man, and I caught myself in that game just saying, man, we're gonna have some of these guys for a long period of time. Hopefully, all goes well. All goes well, of course. Something just happened to my picture. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna keep on talking. I'm sitting there thinking, man, we're gonna have Fabinho for a while, Shaqiri, hopefully Mane, Salah, those guys, Firmino, but Allison, Van Dyke, Gomez, Trent, Rob. I mean, it's just it's a lovely thing to see. Sorry guys if this picture is messed up. Maybe it's cool, but it's definitely not cool on my end. Um, so I don't know what the deal is. I kind of want to start over, but then I don't. I don't know what's the problem. Can you guys see me? Somebody let me know. Shakiri's been brilliant. Yeah, he's been incredible. When the Oz comes back, who do you see as the main midfield? Good question. Great question. Wow, that's tough. I think just in my mind, I think the best midfield sound is cool, but can you see me though? Because my it doesn't look like it's clear on my end. Anyway, I would say that's hard, man. That's really hard to say. That's really hard to say, man. Great question. You got me stumped on that because I feel like with what Shakiri's doing right now, with what Fab is doing right now, I'm assuming Shakiri's going to be that 10, 8, whatever you want to call it. It's hard to say, but I would say, I- if you press me for an answer, I would say Fab in the six, long term, and Naby and Ox. I guess that's really hard, man. Yeah, that's Genie Milner, Shakiri. Really interesting. Okay, with everyone fit and Ox. Okay, that's an interesting one. It is a tough one, man. That's I guess you guys can see me. Nobody's responded, so I guess you guys can see me. But yeah, that is a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Um, the thing I'll say is I know yeah, it's hard to leave Genie out. It's hard to. That's what I'm saying. So again, once we get Ox back, I mean the squad that we're looking on. In my opinion, we're looking pretty close to being on the level of City as far as their squad depth, their strength in the team. Fabinho, Ox, and Naby. Yeah, it's what's up, Azam. I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, that's a tough question, man. So you kind of got me on it because it's like it's hard to say. I think you can for different matchups. Like I'm trying to figure out what the starting line is going to be for Arsenal. The Shakiri starting that game? You got to believe Fab is in there. I think Naby's going to be still out. Hendo. Uh, I can't see Milner starting that game. Would I be surprised? Actually, probably yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. But I'm gonna keep talking. And again, hopefully you guys can see me. I see some of the viewers are diminishing, so I don't know if that means that it was messed up or what. But yeah, the first goal for Salah, man. The mental, I mean, these football players are so smart. Adam says Hendo off the bench. Keita needs to step it up to take one of. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right. You're right. So I got to put that into my. But yeah, I think Genie stays then. By the end of the season, could be saying Fabinho, Keita, Shakira. Yeah, who knows? And Ox got a lot of work to do. Also, yeah, Ox got a lot of work to do to get back. That's my thing. That's why I was like, I said that. Just I'm assuming like all full strength. But again, the fact that I can't even choose one in my mind says that we're going to be pretty set in midfield for probably a while to come. Sure, once Hendo fades out, Milner might be his last season. There's a space available. Do we feel it? We'll see. But Delano looks so off the pace. He's definitely slow and off the pace. Yeah, but I think people are still being a little bit harsh on Delano. I don't know what people are expecting to see from him. Anyway, that first goal, Salah starts on the right side of the box because Trent puts in that shot. And he just observes everything, and he's always in the right place at the right. That's why when people talk about him not being like at the level, you got to people who know football, which all of you do. It's not always about goal scoring. It's about putting yourself about being in the right place to receive a good pass, to have a good look, or whatever the case may be. Um, and the fact that he just observed everything and just ended up in the right place at the right time, got the shot. I mean, that I love players like that who just they're always gonna find their fox in the box kind of thing. They're always gonna be in the right areas and know that there's a chance, especially against a brick wall like that. Putting shots in could be a benefit in this case because if it ricochets off, you got guys that are hungry to get on the ball. Firmino, Salah, Mane, even Genie was there. I think Genie had a shot at it. Genie and Mane had a shot at it, and then it came off, and then Salah was there. So I just love that work rate, that mental awareness, and just being ready. Um, but yeah, that's about it for my notes. I got some things about Fabinho, but I talked about him a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. Watch some of these games. Thank you guys, all of you, man, who've just been around with us. We're a humble little channel. We love what we do, and we're glad that you guys spend some time of your day with us. There's a bunch of channels you could be watching, and some of you regulars. Most of you guys are regulars. You guys are here all the time, man. So much love. Really appreciate that. Um, Before I leave, if you get a chance, I don't know what your favorite podcasts are for Liverpool, but please consider checking out Cop On. That's Kopon. Amazing podcast. This guy, humor, knowledge. Seems like an older guy. I think he's an English teacher based in France now, but from the UK. But great podcast. So check it out when you're listening to your Red Man podcast or your Anfield Agenda or whatever. Please check out Cop On. I like it, and I hope you do too. See you guys soon.